All right, Bruce, here's one from Joseph. He wants to know when Vince decided in March of 2000 that his baby daughter, Stephanie, should be the women's champion for 5 months. What was the reaction like backstage? Was there any pushback? Stephanie only defended the title versus Lita. We sort of touched on this a minute ago. The women's division isn't what it was now. You know what I mean? But do you think Stephanie was getting some heat, if you will, in the locker room for the amount of TV time she was getting as an early performer?
I think she was getting heat from the audience.
Yes, for sure.
So heat from the audience, heat in the locker room. I don't give a shit where the heat's coming from. She's getting heat, and it was money drawing heat. So I thought it was absolutely the right move because of that, the jealousy. The fact that the audience is saying she doesn't deserve that. And then that goes on into whatever real life you want to call it of talent. She doesn't deserve that. Who deserves it? Who'd you beat? Who did you beat to become the champion? Now, of course, when you won the title, it was real. When you lost the title, it was a work. No, man, come on. What's best for business? That was best for business. That was good stuff. And it was the right thing to do.
Danny says, have you ever told anyone complete BS just to see if it ends up in the dirt sheets? Boy, that's a fun question.
What do you mean? Every single thing that Dave Meltzer writes is complete bullshit. So, he's full of shit. If he writes hello, he means goodbye. So.
Come on, Bruce.
No, that's a fact.
I'm not arguing. I'm not asking about that. I just want to know. I mean, the question is, have you ever sort of back channeled some bullshit trying to see if it would come into the newsletters?
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Cause it was like, man, my brain wouldn't even think like that. Like, what? He's got to make money for the company. Who gives a fuck about all that shit?
Jesus Christ, man. Do you guys have any idea just I'm going to get on my soapbox again. Wham, poor me. But do you have any idea how long it takes to put together every aspect of a 2 or 3 hour television show and do 2 of them every single week on a major network? I don't have time to make up and feed a piece of garbage like Dave Meltzer something that's BS. I don't have time to even speak to him. To say hey to him would be too much time. But no, there's the amount of hours that we put in and the amount of effort and your quote free time, if you will, is I woke up in the middle of the flight coming home and wrote down a whole story that I had just dreamt. It's just how my mind works, but it's how a lot of creative people work. You're thinking about constructive. You don't think about destructive. You don't think about, I'm going to get Dave Meltzer and his 2.5 readers that are going to go, oh gosh, they got me. Don't have time for that. I already spent too much time explaining it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was like, yeah, we got a lot more questions. Who gives a shit? Roy says, since Bobby Eaton is no longer with us, would you induct Jim Cornette into the WWE Hall of Fame? Well, I don't think Bobby Eaton was going to induct. He would be inducted probably as part of the Midnight Express. I mean, if Jim Cornette goes into the WWE Hall of Fame, it's probably as a member of the Midnight Express, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Was the question, would I induct Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you say God no?
Yeah, I don't think that Jim would want me to.
Oh, I see.
I would be honored to induct Jim. I happen to like Jim an awful lot. I don't know what happened to our friendship to this day. And And again, back to the worry about negative shit. I'm not going to dwell on negative stuff. And I love Jim. I think Jim's very deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. And I hope one day that he is.
You should give him a call.
You know what, Conrad? Here's the phone. Okay.
Yep.
Where's it at? Over there. Ooh. Be careful what I show.
I was just going to say, I was like, that's risky, buddy.
Well, that was risky. Hey, here's the phone.
Yes.
Here's my phone. It works both ways. I have called. Yeah, I've reached out, and I'm at an age where all I can do is I can do, and I'm not gonna reach out over and over and over and over and over again. And then the only time that anyone else ever reaches out is because they need something. That's me, now I'm, but the fact of the matter is phone works both ways. And I've made my, I hope I've made my feelings known. If I haven't, then I'm a shitty communicator, and I don't know that I can communicate it any better than I already have.
I do want to get back to talking about the Hall of Fame, but I do want to say, as your friend, your crazy schedule makes it difficult to communicate.
Without a doubt.
So I'm just saying, I think you're one of my best friends, but I got a whole bunch of unanswered text messages in a row because you're just busy. And I don't take that personally. I get it. But I'm just saying.
Especially, and this is funny because you bring that up because someone else brought it up over the weekend of 6 messages that they had sent me. I said, you don't understand, man. First of all, you're sending them to me on a Monday night during a television show that I'm actively producing. So I look at it, and if it is not pertaining to that exact moment in time in which I need to activate and do something, moving on. And I always try, I freaked somebody out the other day. Bill Apter! I freaked out the other day. Bill had sent me something 9 days later. I returned his text. Hello, Bill. Everything okay? Oh my God! I sent you this. And I know sometimes it's timely on their calendar, but timing for me sometimes is a little different. And so I try. I really do. But when I'm in a meeting, and unless I'm looking over at that phone and that phone pops up with a comment that is pertinent to that meeting in that exact moment, I ain't looking at it. I unfortunately, I do hit it to look to see what it is, and then I move on. So yes, you are correct. I can be a little difficult to reach, but I try to get back to everybody. I really do.
The only reason I say that is you made the insinuation that the only time you hear from someone is when they need something. I don't know that that's necessarily true. I certainly get that you're being asked for things because of your position, but I just know that just communicating with you in 2024 is a whole heck of a lot different than communicating with you in 2019 or 2018.
Sure.
I mean, and I get it. I understand, man, you're being pulled in 1,000 directions. This is a multi-billion-dollar company and you're doing multiple live shows a week, and I get it. But I am saying it's kind of hard to be Bruce Prichard's friend in 2024, which is why I encouraged you. And again, I know you said your piece. I do hope at some point when you have time, you reach out to Jim, because y'all were friends for so long, and whatever happened. Let's fuck it. Who cares? Hit reset and let's try again.
Yeah. But again, a lot of that goes back and has history back to long before 2019, where I tried a long time. I've given up.
I got you.
So that's where I'm at, in that regard, because trying to place today's standards on issues from yesteryear, as you say, don't apply. It's a different world.
Who do you think should induct the Midnight Express? Like if you were booking it and you don't think Jimmy would want you to do it, I get that. Who would be a good person to induct Cornette and Condrey and Stan Lane and posthumously the late great Bobby Eaton?
Paul Heyman.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know necessarily that would be Cornette's first pick, but
Paulie managed the Midnight Express.
Okay. I forgot about that feud. Yeah.
So to me, that's the only one that makes sense to me.
That's interesting. I like that.